Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Live from the Range podcast. My name is John Johnson. I'm the owner and operator of firearms training in beautiful Cape Coral, Florida, who specializes in you. I'm glad you're here this evening. We'll give it a few minutes here while people to pile in a little bit here. Talk a little bit about one of our newest things we have. I'm wearing one of these nice FloridaFree.net shirts. We actually have a sponsor this evening who has decided to sponsor our YouTube channel and our lives and everything else like that. And we'd like to introduce you to them. We would like to tell you all about freeflorida.net, where the Constitution still lives. They are a t shirt company that does a lot of the gun shows that I go to. And Bill and I started talking in regards, Bill and Donna, excuse me, we started talking about how we could support each other's family owned business. And we came up with a plan. Bill wants to build his line a little bit further, a little bit out of Florida. So he's coming up with a couple different shirts that are going to be for U.S. Use. But they specialize in Florida right now. And we got a couple of cool shirts that they've given us samples of that we're wearing. I'm wearing one of them right now. I'm wearing the blue, Bimini blue short sleeve shirt, and it is in that SPF 50, very comfortable. It's got the logo on the chest, and it actually physically, I didn't get a second blue one, but I wanted to show you this logo because it was pretty cool. And I'm gonna flip over to the camera real quick to show you the logo. But on the back of my shirt, it has this. Excuse me, I'm having a little bit of a short area here, but look at this. It's a mixture of the American flag and the Florida flag. And it love America, live Florida, and defend the Constitution. Bill is really into the Second Amendment, Bill and Donna, and I can tell you they are a good fit for our company. So what Bill decided he was going to do is he wanted to offer a great discount for any of my subscribers, viewers, or anybody that's on this live after the fact that wants to take advantage of a discount code that the company freeflorida.net put for you guys, which is FTBJ924. And what this will do, guys, is this will give you 10% off of purchases. Now, if you're a fisherman or if you're just an average person walking around town looking for lightweight, easy wear, dry, fast shirts like these fishing shirts, they've got everything. I've showed you a couple pictures. That's the hoodie model there with the long sleeves, but they have women's, they have men's, they have unisex, they have all kinds of different styles, colors, and features. And if you can for me, please go to their website, freeflorida.net, and check out what they have to offer. Now, if you don't remember all this, we're going to have a link in our description in the down below that will give you the discount code and their website and a link directly to their website. You can help them out by helping me out. So we want to thank Bill and Donna from freeflorida.net for sponsoring the Firearms Training by John live podcast and YouTube channel and Facebook. Thank you, Bill and Donna. We really appreciate you being a family owned business like the Johnsons, like we are, and we want to support you as well as support ourselves. Thank you again, guys. Don't forget that free uh, discount code FTBJ924 and take advantage of that deep discount that Bill is offering. Thank you, Bill and Donna. We appreciate your patronage. All right, guys, welcome. We have in the last couple weeks been talking a lot in regards to purchasing a pistol or buying a pistol or what to look for in a pistol. And this is all going towards people who are new to shooting, which is who we normally specialize in, or someone who has been out of shooting for a while and getting back into it. So this week, what we decided to do is we talked, if you remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about the things that we need to tell somebody, or how do we nurture somebody into shooting, right? The tips on taking a newbie shooting. And then we looked at what a newbie needs to look at when they're looking for a new pistol. And this week, what we've decided to do is we kind of laid it out. We kind of went through what to do, how to do it. Now you've purchased the pistol. So this live this week is, so you purchased your new pistol. Now what? Now what do I do? I've got it all. Tell me, John. Well, how do I do it? What do I do? And we're going to cover a lot of great tips on this. As you know, as a new follower, we would like to know who you are, and where you're from. And if you don't mind, go ahead and comment down below. Now, if you are one of our loyal subscribers, thank you very much for watching this every week. We appreciate you very much. And don't forget to hit the bell icon, the like, and the subscribe button if you're new. That way, next time, you'll be notified way before this thing starts, because we do put these up a little bit in advance to let you know it's coming. It's every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're sharing ourselves together. I'm coming live to you from the range. I mean, this is not only a live video, but it's a podcast as well. So we actually put these through our podcast, where you can find those at anywhere podcasts are available. We do the YouTube podcast, but we do have, we are on tonight. We are on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, and we're on Rumble. So if you get an opportunity and you're on one of those, let us know if you're on one of those as well. Okay, so let's talk about this evening. And let's talk in regards to, so you bought a new pistol, now what? Purchasing a handgun is exciting and empowering experience, but it also comes with a great deal of responsibility. Whether your goal is for personal protection, sports shooting, or simply exploring new skills, there are important steps that you should take. Bringing your firearm home and understanding the fundamentals of gun safety, learning proper maintenance, and committing to a regular practice routine uh, will help you tremendously. This guide will explore 10 things you should do after buying your first handgun to ensure you're confident, prepared, and responsible in your ownership journey. Do me a favor, comment below, let me know, what was your first pistol? Or have you bought your first pistol yet? And if you have bought your first pistol, was it the one you wanted, or was it the one that someone talked you into buying? That's kind of one of those things that, it's like a pair of shoes, guys. You got to try it on. I can't buy you a pair of shoes, and you surely can't buy me a pair of shoes. So, what would be the number one thing that I think anybody who buys a pistol, takes it home, kind of checks it out a little bit, kind of has an idea what they're looking at, and kind of made a right decision? What do you think the first thing you should do? It's going to be boring, but is to read the manual. How many of you actually read your manual? I can raise my hand about halfway. I don't always read every manual, but it's something you really should do, because there's a lot of little maintenance things that are in there. There's a lot of breakdown periods. There's a lot of little stuff that you probably got to get your head around before you go getting crazy on going down and shooting. Reading your manual thoroughly. Your handgun manual contains essential information on operation, safety, maintenance, specification, functions. Never skip this step. How you doing? Are you did you pass that one yet? That's part of that deal, guys. I'm not going to get carried away in uh, shaking my finger at you. A lot of people don't do it. Well, they always think that that Yeah, I know one pistol, I know them all, but there are some different breakdown periods and things like that you need to get your head around. The manual has a lot of information. Don't forget in the box itself, there is a warranty card that most people don't fill out and send that in. You should be doing that as well, because that actually attaches that serial number to you through the manufacturer as well. Not a registration, but it kind of gives that gun in the manufacturer's eyes is attached to you. A lot of people don't want to do that because they're afraid of registration, but Florida's against law to register anything, but, that's kinda one of those deals. Got a couple comments already. William, thank you. I appreciate you too, buddy. Joseph Fernandez, good evening, sir. I'm looking forward to today's training. Oh, hey, buddy. This is from Puerto Rico. This is Joe Fernandez. Thank you. William, his first gun was a Beretta 92 FS. That's a nice piece, buddy. That spoils you. That's got that double single action pistol. Very challenging when you put some striker fire unit in your hand. There are a little bit of rules and regulations of the striker fires versus the decocker method, like the FS 22. And Jose Fernandez Glock 43X MOS. Yeah, that's a nice piece, buddy. Very nice. Thank you guys for commenting what your first pistol was. We appreciate that very much. Now, did every one of you read your manual before you brought it out of the box? Oh, hey, Stan, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for looking over my targets today. No problem, Stan. I'm glad you were here. My first gun was a Smith& and Wesson Shield. It was. You were correct, buddy. That's awesome. Glad to see you, Stan, today. We appreciate you very much. Stan's one of our members here at the range, and he comes in and shoots on a regular basis. He went from doing a being a I'm okay to shooting really, really well. He's becoming a great student. We're proud of him. Very proud of you, Stan. Keep it up, buddy. All right. So number one was read your manual. Number two is familiar yourself with gun safety rules. I mean, it seems basic, but this is something that people don't normally put their head around, and a lot of times people do stupid stuff with guns. When you talk to somebody who had a accidental discharge or anything else like that, it's normally because somebody thought the gun was unloaded. So properly learning how to unload a pistol and load a pistol is probably the number one thing you got to get your head around. So, familiar yourself with gun safety. Review the practice your four fundamentals of safety. You know what those are, guys? The four fundamentals. Number one is treat the weapon if it's always loaded. Number two is keep your finger off the trigger. Number three is always have the weapon pointed down range or away from you. And number four is know your target and what's beyond it. That is key, key, key. You know, people tend to do little things like here in the range, right? We want to make sure you understand that range that your booth you're in. You got to think you're in a box, and you got to think that box goes from where you're at all the way back to the backstop, and you don't want to have that barrel turned in any direction besides straight down. We catch a lot of people doing this because who turns their magazine sideways to get the to get the magazine dropout, right? And we kind of catch people having that gun turn, not completely turn. Obviously, that's dangerous. No people do that, but that slight turn sweeps the person next to you, or sweeps the next lane next to you, and we want to be careful with that. So, anytime you're working on a pistol, you want to bring it back to you, and if you need to, you can step to the side to look inside the weapon versus trying to turn the gun sideways to look at it. Not only are you turning the gun sideways, but you're pointing the gun up in the air as well, which is not going to be safe for you. So familiar yourself with safety. That's kind of that's paramount, obviously. And you need to preach this to everybody in the home as much as you can. You catch somebody making a safety violation and you're indoor range and you're in there with them. You have all the right in the world to say something because you want to be as safe as the person next to you. If the person next to you is not safe, it kind of challenges everybody at that point in time. So that was number two. Was familiar yourself with safety and gun rules. Number three is enroll, and you know I was going to say it. You know I was going to say it. Or enroll yourself into a firearms training course, guys. This is key, key, key. You can do two things. You can spend a large amount of time trying to figure something out, pick up a lot of bad habits, then come in and take a training course. I'll give you my golfing experience. When I was, I don't know, 25, 26, 27, I really got into golfing. I thought I was the golfer. I actually was golfing an awful lot. I actually wasn't too bad for being a big fat guy. And it's hard to get around your body when you're using clubs. And what I was good at was putting and the short game. I was terrible at driving, and my nine and my utility wedge were the two that I shot the best. But with those two and the putting, I was shooting pretty well. So I decided. My wife, what do you want for your birthday? I said, get me golf lessons, sweetheart. Well, that guy screwed my game up so bad. 'Cause I had all these bad habits. I wasn't gripping the gun, wasn't gripping the I wasn't doing the swing right. I wasn't doing everything. He had screwed me so up. I after about 2 weeks of lessons, I stopped because every time I took a lesson, I got worse. I went from shooting, high 90s to 100s to shooting 140s and 150s from lessons. Now, I was getting further distance, but I wasn't really doing what I needed to do, so I went back to my old ways, and I got back into that, the high 90 area. For me, high 90s was good, and I was happy, and it was, unfortunately, in Florida, uh, a sport that's very inexpensive during the summer can be 3 times as much during the winter, so you can't have a sport that you do half. Well, I say that, I'm deer hunt, so that's a sport you do have a few months out of the year, and then you give it up the rest of the year. But that's part. Safety always first. That's right, Jose. Very, very good. Uh, uh, so that's my golf lesson. So what I'll tell you, there's a couple opportunities for you to really, really take a class. One is like most of our students have not shot a pistol ever, or barely have shot a pistol, or it's been multiple, multiple years before they shot a pistol. And then when we go back there, we're treating everyone like they've never shot a pistol before. And all we're doing at that point in time is building good, solid habits. If you went to the range and tried to figure this stuff out yourself, there's only a few little things that cause someone to be inaccurate, and those are heavy trigger pulls, those are gun over, not dominant eye, over torquing the pistol, over torquing your hands, squeezing harder with your non-dominant hand versus your dominant hand. But all those little things makes it very difficult. Well, if good firearms instructor can solve all your problems very quickly. Now I like to I like I like to toot my own horn a little bit, but I'm pretty good at this, and I can really help you out if you're close to us. But some people on this that are watching this live may not be able to get to me. That's why we do these YouTube channel to give you all the tips and tricks that I give all my students here. But if you want to find a good quality instructor, there's many things you can do. Obviously, if you're anywhere in the 30-mile radius of our business, we would love to have you. Our website is available for you. We're open 7 days a week. We'll put a package together for you that's going to make you and your wife and your family supportive and comfortable. But if you're not, you need to find a good instructor. And how do you find a good instructor? Well, you can go by word of mouth. You can hit some of the gun stores, but some of the gun stores will have a list of instructors in the area. You could go to the local gun ranges and see if they have an instructor working for them, or you can hit the United States Concealed Carry Association, USCCA, or you can put up the NRA, put your zip code in, and they will have a list of qualified instructors that you could interview and find out which is the best for you. What? Interview? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like anything else. It's a job. You're giving this person hard earned money. You need to make sure they treat you good. They want to make sure you treat you like family. We as a firearms instructor family, we treat everyone here like family. Sometimes people need coddling and holding. Some people need a little bit more aggression because they're doing some safety violations. And some people just need someone to be there with them. And then we do that for all of our students. And every good instructor would do that because they're able to read the student and know exactly what this student needs to become more proficient. That's all we're looking for, guys. It's not about bullseyes. It's not about, shooting out at 50 yards and hitting a quarter. With you're thinking about defensive shooting, you're thinking about vital triangle, you're thinking about shoulders to groin. That's a big area. You don't need to be an expert marksman to hit that. You just need to be able to be proficient with it. Okay, let's hit the next one. Purchase the right ammo. I put that in there because it's always crazy when people look at some of the stuff, and it really is in the 9 millimeter category that most people screw up because there's a lot of 9 millimeters out there that people think it's just 9 millimeter. That's all, but there's 9 millimeter Kurtz. There's the 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 nine by 18, which is Makarov, and there's 147, there's 124, there's 115. Now, all three of those will work in your weapon, but the 147 is more for a suppressor round. 124 is what we use here in the range. That's the grains, because that's a heavier bullet, so you don't get as much recoil management. And the 115 is a little more snappier. But you got to make sure that you understand what your weapon fires, what your weapon loads, and then there's aluminum rounds, there's steel rounds, there's brass rounds. Now, here's my recommendation: always, always, always shoot high brass, shoot copper plated, lead bullets, lead bullets. Those are going to be the cleanest on your weapon. When you shoot brass, it contracts, expands very quickly, and you don't have any extractor problems, as well as when you shoot aluminum, it doesn't get as hot as much, but it's not good for your weapon either. Not that it's going to destroy it, you just got to make sure your gun's better oiled for that. And last but not least, steel is about the worst you can put through a semi-automatic pistol, not an AK. AK needs to have steel rounds. But when you're running a steel round into a semi-automatic pistol, you can get that steel gets very hot when it fires. And we all know metal holds its heat longer than brass does. So if you're running those steel rounds through a high capacity magazine and trying to shoot a ton of rounds out of it, you can get extractor problems with these weapons because don't forget a brass round has no coating on it. Aluminum casing doesn't have a coating, but steel normally has some kind of lacquer or some kind of clear coating on it to keep it from surface rusting. And those coatings, when get heated or the barrel gets hot, can actually slough off onto your barrel assembly, and then you start getting this big haze that's in there, and can cause it to stick. So now you shot 3,000 rounds. You wouldn't shoot 3,000 rounds. Let's say you shoot 300 rounds of steel. Well, you varnished your barrel so bad that if you do not clean that immediately, and that actually hazes over or glosses over on your barrel, every time that barrel gets to heated levels, that coating can get a little more sticky and cause more issues on the backside. So I'd highly recommend that you put yourself in a position where you try to shoot as much brass as possible. Now, if you have an AK-47, those are meant to shoot steel rounds. They don't like brass. And you try to find brass AK rounds, you're spending a lot more money. So you want to be careful with that. So purchasing the right ammo, ensuring you have the correct caliber for your handgun, understanding the type of ammo for your handgun requires and will surely ensure safety and reliability operations. Definitely, definitely. Looks like we got somebody there. Most first time buyer once they purchase their gun, go buy an optic or light. Me, I spent the money in training, even do I even though I am a army veteran. Boy, was I rusty. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Like anything else, we all, even myself, I mean, I shoot daily, but sometimes I can pick the pistol up and be pretty damn accurate. Sometimes it's normally when my family's around or my wife's here and she outshoots me every time. And I blame it on me being rusty. But, each time you pick the pistol up, it's a different time, different day. And don't forget, a handgun's one of the hardest things to teach a student because there's only 2 points of contact and you can't do 100% on either hand. So being being proficient with a weapon or a handgun takes time, takes energy, takes strength, takes power, takes understanding and getting it all together. That's where a firearm instructor can help you tremendously. We go back all the time. Years ago, last year, we used to do the shot doctor, which I'd come on a Monday, go out in the back, pick 3 targets in the back, and kinda look and see exactly what I saw there. I saw some good targets, definitely. I saw some really crappy ones, and I'd point out what I thought they were doing wrong. Now, I didn't know who they were, I didn't know who those targets were, but, there's a couple shorts on there there's a bullet on every part of the target except where it should be. It's part of that. And we have guys here all the time come by 3, 4, 500 rounds and go in the back and just bang, 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 bang. And they're just shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting and shooting. And that's only making the gun range money. They're every time they touch that pistol, they're picking up a habit, correct? It's either gonna be a good habit or a bad habit. So gotta keep that in mind if you can. Yeah, that's funny, right? That's funny. Thanks, Jose. Uh, get a quality gun safe or locking device. Now, every firearm comes with a locking device. I would never use the locking device that comes with your firearm as a safety measure for you in your home. Number one, it's normally a barrel thing where it goes through the barrel or through the receiver and locks down below. That is a very inexpensive, forced by the government locking system. Yes, would it save a child's life if it got in its hand because they didn't have the key? Yes. Could a kid take a pair of pliers and cut that piece of steel cable off? And yes, they could. So that is not what I would consider a safe. If you have children, I shouldn't have to say this, but you should never leave a firearm unattended for anybody to get a hold of that's not supposed to hold it. So that's number one thing. But a locking safe, in my opinion, if you have children, is a must. And getting something with a key or a fingerprint button push, not a thumbprint. The problem with these thumbprint units. That means when you push your thumb on there, it opens up. The problem with that is if you're bleeding or you put makeup on, or all of a sudden you're making donuts and you got powder all over your fingers, are you going to be able to touch that machine and it open up? And don't forget, if you touch the machine twice with the wrong fingerprint, it shuts down for the 20, whatever it is, 10 minutes cycle before it resets. I had that happen to one of these safes behind me. This one here. I had that one. I put the code in twice. It's in a little figure eight or whatever it was, and I went in and put it in and hit it, and I put it in again, and then it shut down on me, and I had to get Jacob to come back into the store, and we had to reset the stupid thing. But after 10 minutes, it reset. Now one of them is a bad guy was standing in front of me, and I put the gun in the safe. This is what I'm trying to get at. If you're at home, it's night. The firearm should not be in the safe. The firearm should be easy accessible to you to get to if you need it. Now, the safe is designed to put away. Let's say your son's Boy Scout troop is over. That gun should be put away in the safe that no one can get to, 100%. But in the middle of the night, when you and your wife are home and everyone's there, you don't need it in a safe. You need to be able to easy access to it. Have babies, little kids, you know, 30 inches or less, put it in the top shelf of of a closet, easy accessibility to you. Anything over so many feet, but if they're, older, you need to make sure that you put it away that nobody can get to it. So, where can you find these? Where can you find these good quality safes or locking devices? You can look at a lot of different places. A lot of different places. Amazon obviously has the stuff. Some of the stores we have. I do have an Amazon store. If you visit any of our YouTube videos or our website, there's an actual link to our web or our Amazon store as well, which we get a small penance on that. You can look at all this stuff. Harbor Freight has a couple different styles there. You can come here. We can order anything for you as well. Any of that stuff is going to work for you, but keep in mind a safe is only good if you put the gun in and out of it, and everyone needs to know where it is. Danny Schultz, how you doing, buddy? Haven't heard from you forever. Are you doing good, man? Uh, Danny's one of our members here. He's been sick for a while. Hope you're doing better. Looks like hi guys. Been a minute. Almost done with rehab. Miss you guys. We miss you too, Danny. I hope you're doing good, pal. I appreciate. Hey, Jake. Danny just responded. Danny Schultz. Yeah. So Danny is one of our members. Used to come here and clean every Tuesday night. Jake misses him because he cleaned up pretty well. So it's one of those things. He'd stay for the live. We miss you, Danny. I'm glad you made a comment there, man. Thank you very much. God bless you. Hope you and your wife are doing wonderful. All right. Good quality safe locking devices. Like I said, all guns come with locking devices, but that is not a lock you want to use in the middle of the night when it's time to get the key to unlock it to protect yourself, if that makes sense. Now, if you plan to carry or you plan to have any kind of deal, you need to choose a right holster. Here's one of the most challenging things that people uh, holsters are one of those things you're going to buy an awful lot of. I know I've got a box and a half full of them. I'm not the most skinniest guy in the world. I'm a lot thinner than I was because I was a lot heavier before deer season, but I lost about 30 pounds. So, so I'm happy about that. But holsters are one of those things you just got to buy and try. How do you find a good holster? Well, you probably go out to the gun show. That's probably a good place to go. There's a lot of holster manufacturers that let you try things on and put your weapon in and everything else like that. You can physically buy a bunch of them and try to return them if you want to, but that's normally what that does it. You really can't tell a holster. I can tell you A holster feels really good when you first get it. And then after putting it through the ringer, put it through a couple different settings and sitting in a car and going to the movies with it and going to a restaurant and starting to get the feel of it, it becomes more and more of a, oh, I hate this thing. I got to get something different. My opinion is leather is the best. Leather moves with you. Leather gives you a little bit of flexibility. The Tagwa holsters that we sell here at the store are multi-use. They can be used for different ones, and they actually have a cup rib on top that goes against your skin to keep the gun from cutting in you. Inside the waistband holster is better than outside the waistband holster. Inside the waistband gives you more of a pocket to put the firearm in. Mr. Jacob and I, for about a year and a half or 2 years, have all been pocket carrying. I stopped carrying the big pistol and I just put one in my pocket. I figured if I'm going to truly get in a gunfight, it's going to be from short distances and not going to be more than a couple rounds, anyways. But, we all go through the stages of carrying. We go the Glock 19 and then we go just using Glocks repetition wise, Glock 19 to the Glock 48 to the Glock 43 to the 42, which is the 380. And then we go pocket, pocket. And pocket's probably, yeah, pocket. And pocket carry is probably the easiest thing to do in Florida because majority of the time people in Florida are wearing what, shorts or light clothes. Jacob, my son, he doesn't have a belt, doesn't own a belt. He always wears basketball shorts or two pair of shorts. You never know when he's got to play basketball, is what he's used to say. He ain't played basketball in 2 years, but that was part of his deal. So he went to a light gun to put in his pocket. But when he started carrying in his pocket, he didn't go through the steps like most people do. They carry that 19 forever and a day, and then it begins a pain in the ass, and they stopped carrying it. Mr. Jacobs never stopped carrying it. I'm pretty proud of him on that. He's a pretty good kid. Never don't give me too much problems, but he's always carried. Since he's been able to carry, he's always carried, which you be proud of him. Christian Sass, hello, sir. Tried to message you. Oh, yeah, they don't. Some of these stream yards don't come the other side there. Just letting you know, I found out you're there and enjoy what you're for your side of the internet. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Christian Sass. You found us on Rumble. That's awesome. I'm glad you're there. We unfortunately, Rumble is not as big as YouTube and all the other ones. We do it because you never know what'll happen down the road, especially in our industry, because the world hates 2A. They hate the gun industry, and they try to ban us all the time, and we run through all that stuff. So we appreciate you, Kristen, for watching the show. We appreciate you very much. God bless you, man. God bless you and your family. Um, you need it. We all need that right now with the way the world is. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tell your friends and family about me, Christian. We appreciate that very much, buddy. God bless you. All right. All right. Not only are you working on holsters, but you got to have some other stuff like storage cases and things like that. Maybe getting a range bag, maybe getting all the equipment you need for, a lot of people always ask me, what do I need? What do I need? What should I buy? You don't have to buy a ton of stuff, be honest with you. I mean, could you carry your box the gun came in to and from the range every time? Yes, you could. This is what I would tell you. This is what I would do. I don't recommend buying a range bag because it looks like a range bag and you live in a neighborhood and every time you walk out to your car or in your car. Now in Florida we don't have this problem. Most people in Florida there's a firearm or two or three in the home. So it's not a big deal. There are certain states that firearms are penalized, criminalized. people who have firearms, they look at you a little different. So we don't want anybody to know our business. So I would tell you, get yourself a backpack that looks like a backpack, not a gun range, not a gun bag, but it just looks like a regular old backpack. I tell the women all the time, go get one of those cute bags that you like, whatever it is, flowery, whatever, whatever. And you could sling that on your shoulder, walk out to your car, get in your car, and nobody will know what's in that bag. And then in that bag, the necessity wise, firearm, magazines. People come to the range, they got their firearm, but they don't have their magazines. You can't shoot the gun without the magazine unless you're going to put one in at a time. Magazine, some ammo, right? You always take ammo to the range. Now, the ranges around town would love you to buy ammo from them, and they're not higher priced, really, if you think about it. You buy ammo like you buy stock. Let's say you go to the range and you buy a box of 9mm for $25, which is crazy pricing. Don't do that. But let's just say you did. And then you went over to our store and you got 100 rounds for 28 bucks. Well, if you take those 100 rounds for 28 bucks and the other rounds for 25 and you put them all together, it's called cost averaging. And that's what you do with ammo. So you always have ammo in the bag, and when you go to the range, you brought enough to shoot and you buy 100 to go home with. So what you want to do, guys, is you want to make sure if you have a 9mm at your house that you have at least 500 rounds per handgun. I'll say it again. 500 rounds per handgun and rifle. Because could you imagine having a 500 rounds, which is pretty good, and you take 100 to the range, you bring back 100, you're always at that 500. What if you've got a 40 caliber right now? 40 is hard to get a hold of, guys. If you had 40 caliber and there's no 40 at the stores, my guy that's making 40 caliber hasn't had any for a couple of months. He's trying to get the projectiles, and we're going through all this bullshit right now with the shipping and everything else like that. So you want to make sure you have ammo for all these weapons. It's like having a hammer and no nails. You got to make sure you have the equipment. So in the bag, you want earmuffs, you want eyewear, you want the gun, the magazine, and some ammo. That's all you need. You don't need to get no real tactical. Now you could add cleaning kits, you could add lubrication, you could add a bunch of different stuff to it. But all that stuff could be at home too. You got to clean your weapons. You got to do all that stuff. But in the bag itself, and the more less likely it looks like a tactical range bag, the better you're going to be, especially if you're parked in Walmart parking lot before coming here. You don't want to have that bag in the back and it looks like a tactical bag. You may lose a window for someone to get into it compared to a flowery pink and blue and green backpack. Who's going to want to get that? Okay, that's a terrible joke. All right. Practice dry fire drills. You know, dry fire drills are one of those things that the more time you spend engaging the trigger and the weapon not firing, the more you confuse your brain. Let's walk through a standard procedure when someone comes and starts shooting on a regular basis. So the first time they shoot the pistol, they're a little nervous and they engage the trigger really fast and very quickly, and all of a sudden, the bullet is impacting low. And we tell them the reason why it impacted low because you pulled the trigger, not pressed the trigger. And we have an internal monster in every one of us, and every time we touch that pistol, that gun kicks and recoils. And when it kicks and recoils, we're trying to control the recoil and the kick by using muscle manipulation, which is common. The challenge of most people is they begin to build a flinch or pre flinch before the weapon fires. So we always tell students you need to think about shooting the pistol and letting the trigger just slide back. Don't pull it, press it. Let the shot surprise you. The more you do that, the more likely you're going to keep that pistol level during the shot. But when you're in the back watching people, they tend to able to control through 5 rounds pretty easy. When they get to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, you start seeing your groups go wider and wider and wider because you're losing control and you're anticipating recoil management. One of the best advice I give you on a pretty much on every YouTube channel, every YouTube video, every short, and every time we do one of these, it's about a consistent, slow trigger engagement with a low round count drill, which means don't put more than 5 rounds in the gun. You don't need to put more than 5 rounds in the gun. Because if you put more than 5 rounds in the gun, you're along for the ride until the weapon is empty. So if you put a 33 round stick into a mag and put that mag in the weapon, the first 5 shots are probably pretty damn good. It's all the rest of them you're just riding along, riding along, riding along. So dry firing or any kind of drill like that that helps you slowly engage a trigger and keep from flinching the weapon, the easier it's going to be. On my YouTube channel, we've put together a plenty of videos about dry firing, about what to do and how to do it. How many people start their whole golf game out by shooting the first 25 buck 25 balls before they go out and go to the range? Or do you go right to the first hole and begin to play? Well, you find the people who have spent a little time on the practice range before they physically go golfing, they play a lot better than those people who start right off the bat on the T1 and haven't hit a ball for 2 months. You can imagine how terrible the golfer would be at that point in time. So keep that in mind, especially when you're doing any kind of firearms drills or practices. The more time we spend engaging that trigger without physically letting the gun fire, the more we're confusing the monster that's inside of us that doesn't like the firearm, doesn't like the noise, doesn't like the recoil, and it wants to get the hell out of here. So it's telling you all the time, hurry up, shoot, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's get out of here. I don't like this, I don't like this. And that's part of the deal about the anticipation. So we want to be careful with that. All right, clean and lubricate your gun. Here we go again with your maintenance. And how do you know about maintenance? Is through your manual. Your manual will tell you where to lubricate, where to oil. Learning the how to properly clean and lubricate your handgun to keep it functional and smoothly. Regular maintenance will provide a lifetime reliability. This is an important part of anything. I read an article a while back that Europeans change their oil in their car every 3,000 miles routinely. It's something they do. United States and America, we do not maintenance our vehicles as well as it. And the US knows this, and they've made these cars now that will travel way beyond 3,000 miles with the same oil in the car, where overseas are using these high end, high expensive cars that will not be well after 3,000 miles. They need to change the oil. So, maintenance is something people fail on a regular basis. I'm guilty of it. I don't do it. Jacob does it. And if I could convince him to do it all the time, I would. When we get students here and all of a sudden we start getting jams or things like that. And it's normally because they're not holding on to the gun properly. and the lubrication has been an issue for us. Remember that feed ramp, the internal carbon that builds up in these weapons. Now, I don't recommend you clean. A lot of the maintenance people say, "Hey, listen, you need to clean the gun before you shoot it." The manual does say that, but Glock has this great that for years and years he had this copper fouling oil system that was in the Glock thing, and you wanted that oil in the gun. That I won't call it a grease. It's a compound. You want that compound in the gun as long as you could. And Glocks really aren't a Glock until you shoot 500 rounds to them. So we don't even recommend most of our students to do any kind of maintenance until the gun is dirty. So we tell everybody 500 rounds, and then we're going to come down here on a Sunday. Mr. Jacob here will walk you through. He's going to teach you to fish. He's not going to fish for you, and he's going to teach you how to clean your firearm. And it's simple and easy. We've done plenty of videos on it. You go to YouTube and find a video on all of them. But technically, it's simple, it's easy, it's not hard to do. But you got to have the equipment. You got to have what you need. Cleaning, lubricating your handgun. Learning how to properly clean and lubricate your handgun will keep it functional. That's the most important thing. All right, so let's just say, for instance, you've got the firearm, you've decided you're going to carry. What about legal protection? What about you using the weapon in a line of defense? Do you have an attorney? I didn't hear anything. Do you have somebody representing you in a scenario where you had to use a firearm in the line of defense? What the problem you have with is most people don't have an attorney. They don't have any idea about it. In the scenario is you've got to use the public defender to defend you in a scenario like that. And I would tell you the public defender is not the person you want on your side if you have to use a firearm in line of defense. There are a lot of different companies out there that offer concealed carry insurance. And the concealed carry insurance is just what it is. It's designed for you to get protection if you ever had to use your gun in line defense. And this is something you really need to look at it. Now I am a United States Concealed Carry Association member, and I am an instructor for them, and my wife is, and Jacob and Johnny are all qualified through them. And I will tell you, we all have this in our wallet, and God forbid if we ever needed it, it's there for our protection. Now I'm going to pull up something here real quick and let you guys see if you can get this, screenshot this real quick. This will give you a free look at that code right there. And that code right there would give you some information from United States Concealed Carry Association. And this is going to get you a free gift for you to look at. You can visit our website and get that as well. There's a lot of information, valuable information. What it normally does for you guys, it gets you $1 million worth of bond information if you need to get out of jail. It gives you 24-hour resources from them. It gives you all self defense lawful acts. It gives you $2 million with limited liability for your civil stuff. 'Cause that's what normal people get into. It's not the criminal part about it, it's the civil part of it. Civil lawsuits can take forever. And if you don't have the money to cover that, you're going to be in a real problem. Just getting out of jail itself, the bondsman works off a percentage, and you don't want to get yourself out of harm's way or out of that area there. Yeah, these are all things you need to really think about. You visit USCCA or visit my my Facebook page or my website. There's a lot of information on there as well, and you'll get that free concealed carry gift there. So go ahead and look at that if you have an opportunity. That's USCCA. Um, it's a good opportunity for you. Consider concealed carry insurance plans and memberships and organizations that provide you legal self protection for self defense situations. Who's going to have your back, guys? You don't want the public defender and the prosecutor that are buddies, they're not enemies, working on your case because the crackhead that got the sweet ass deal just walked away, and now he's got to give you to the prosecutor because he got the sweet deal for the crackhead. So please, please, please think about that if you're planning to carry. If you wanted to find out more about that, you can always visit firearms training by John G. Johnson.com. About halfway down, there's a lot more information on there for you. Protect yourself, protect your loved ones, protect your freedom with USCCA. All right. Let's head on. Number 10's coming up. And number 10 is join a local gun range or shooting club. This is probably a good thing to end with. We are a gun store, we are a gun range, we are a training facility, and we're members. We're membership here. We are a family owned business that allows people to come to us. We're not a gun range that we just allow anybody to come shoot with us. We don't rent firearms. We let students use our firearms when they're taking a training class. But you want to go someplace that you're comfortable with. We're 5 lanes. We're intimate the situation with family members, and those family members have family members. And that's who we want. When we introduce somebody to our place here, we try to give them the whole package. The package is the membership, as well as range time, as well as training, as well as purchasing a firearm. It's a one-stop shop for most people who are new that we specialize in you, and it gives you the ability to have a place you can come and become more and more proficient and become more and more productive with a firearm. If you haven't noticed, most people now are thinking about getting these weapons due to the fact that things that are where the world is coming to. Just yesterday, what happened in Israel again? All the bombs are being thrown. We're going through an election. We're going through a lot of different stuff. Don't forget, a firearm is for you, your cops, or for later on. We carry a firearm because a cop's too heavy to carry. Please, please, please think about yourself and your family and your loved ones. Buying a gun, taking it home, and not knowing anything to do with it is like buying a bag of rattlesnakes and taking it home. Yeah, you can do that. How you gonna feed them? What are you gonna do with them? You know, part of that deal. These steps will ensure responsibility ownership, safety handling, and help you become more confident with your new handgun. Owning your first handgun is just the beginning of rewarding journey through that requires continuous learning, practice, and responsibility. By following these steps, ranging from gun safety, proper training, regular maintenance, and storage, you'll develop the knowledge and the need to become confident and responsible gun owner. Remember, responsible ownership not only ensures safety, but it also, though, for those around you. Sorry about that. You might you have the right mindset and preparation for your first handgun and be a valuable asset to you. Stay committed to ongoing education and training will make you the most of your handgun ownership experience. Well, guys, that is the presentation for this evening. So you bought a handgun, now what? I hope we answered some of those questions for you. We'd like to remind you one more time about our great sponsor. That sponsor is freeflorida.net, where the Constitution lives. They are a T-shirt company that we joined with. They are our sponsors for our live every Tuesday night. They are a sponsor on our YouTube channel, and they have sponsored our Facebook page as well. And we want you guys to support them if you can. So we have negotiated a sweet deal for you. They actually have multiple different shirts. They have women's shirts and men's shirts. The SPS 50, I'm wearing one of those tonight in the blue, but they have the white hoodies and they have the white long sleeves and they have a couple different styles Visit their website, find something you can't live without. With checkout, you need to make sure you put in the FTBJ 924 to get your 10% off. We like to thank Bill and Donna for sponsoring our YouTube live tonight. And we want to thank you guys for being here. We'd like to go up and say good night to everybody who was on the live this evening. We always do this each week. We appreciate you being here. William, thank you very much. It says, thank you, John. I appreciate you. Thank you, William. We appreciate you too as well. Jose Fernandez, thank you very much as always from Puerto Rico. Thank you, William. Jose, okay. Stan, as always, thank you, buddy, very much. Um, yeah, you're right there about that, Jose. Danny, we're glad you came up here. Christian Sachs, thank you very much for this evening. Um, Stan again. And once again, a great show. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate you very much, man. Jose, once again, a great info. God bless. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, guys, if you had an opportunity this evening, make sure you do a little bit of prayers for the people up in that hurricane belt. We had Tampa State, Tampa area got it really bad, but I just heard all about up there in North Carolina area and some of those little small towns. They got really, really, really devastated. It was terrible. So until next week, guys, God bless, be safe, and remember, you are your first line defense. Take advantage of the time you have with your family this evening. Make sure you let everyone know that you love them. Make sure that you understand that time is short and never hold a grudge, never to go to bed mad. You never know what the day will bring. Until next time, love you very much. We'll see you next week. Take advantage of those discounted things. Check out the links below. Are for uh, Bill and Donna's Florida freeflorida.net and get one of these shirts for you. You're gonna love it. It's comfortable as heck, man. I'll tell you what. I should have got some more. I may have to buy some myself. They are super, super comfortable. I was so shocked. They got the white long sleeves, which are pretty awesome. It's got a free logo on the front. It's got that little cool logo in the back. I'm terrible about showing these pictures. Logo in the back. It's got it down the sleeve, which is pretty awesome as well. They've got it in baby blue. This is like a teal color. I'm on a blue, which is kind of awesome. They've got, oh, this is another one they have. They've got, where's that one at? Where's that one at? Hang on a second, guys. I'm finding it for you. They got the other one that was set here. Oh, here it is. This is pretty cool too. I like this one too. Check this out. This is on their website. Get an opportunity, you can go right to it. Free Florida logo on the back. American proud, unapologetic. This is the one he can't keep in. He just brought this out and it's been a super seller. Hit the website, get your discount, get your rate. Let me get you that up if we can see a copy of it down there. I will show you that real quick. There's the discount code again. If you want to see that, that's going to help you tremendously. And then I'm going to hit these banners down here and we'll scroll that banner across the bottom, which will give you the discount as well. We'll sit for a couple minutes here. Any questions or comments for me? If not, we'll see you on the next time. God bless. Be safe. Bye bye, guys.